Okay, I made a little lighting unit for my billboard, my whistling billboard, on my western layout. And I thought today I would take you through the steps of how this thing was made, in case you decide you want to put one on yours if you have one of these, and maybe dress it up a little bit and give it some light. Unfortunately, this unit didn't come with a light built in, so I made my own, and let's take a look at how it went together. Okay, to make the top part of the hood for the billboard, I've taken a piece of 1/4 inch birch plywood, cut it to about 5 3/4 inches long and 3 1/2 inches wide. And what you want to do now is the pattern that I have, of course, you can just simply cut it out. It's a little triangular pyramid, so to speak, which are going to be attached to the sides of the board. Okay, and that's going to make the top of our hood, and we'll be putting a front on it eventually. First of all, let's get this glued on here. Put a little bit of glue on here to get this attached. Nothing too complicated here. And I wouldn't worry too much about if it doesn't match up exactly on the ends, because we're going to round that over with the sander later on anyways. And we've yet to put the top of our hood on too, which we're going to do next. Okay, let's a little bit of glue on here on the edging, and put that thusly. Okay, I think we're all set with that. And just to help it along, we'll put a little clamp on the side here. Don't have to put it on too tight, just a little bit. You don't want to throw the shape out anyways, but put it more toward the center and you'll be okay. And I put one on the other side also, just to balance it out a bit. There we go. Just enough to hold it in place for now. Okay. Okay, I had to cut out one more piece of birch ply, 1/4 inch. This is about 6 1/4 by 1 1/4. And again, I'll have this on the pattern that I'm going to put up if anybody wants to build one of these things. And I also drilled a couple of holes. These are 5/8, I believe it is, to fit these little lamps that I bought, which are going to go right in here, and with a little super glue will be placed in there about level with the board as such. And then, of course, those will be wired in for the final product. So what we need to do is put a little, I also rounded over this piece on the end here, right up there, just on the sander. I just simply put the sander on and went flat so that it has a nice angle there to even that out a bit. So we're going to put some glue on here. On the edges, all the way around. Not a lot, just enough. Get it to stick. Okay. Put that on here like this at an angle. Put it up toward the top so it's level with the top as best we can. And I think we'll just leave it like that. I don't think we need to clamp it at all. It's not going to be that high stress level thing. Just let it sit here for about an hour or so. I could put a clamp on it, I suppose. It's an odd shape, that's the only problem. I think we're going to just leave it like that. I think it'll be fine. Stand it up against another piece of wood here. And we'll leave that for an hour or so. And we'll come back and put the lamps inside and we'll finish this up. I think it's going to look pretty good. It's going to be the top of our billboard for lighting purposes. We could even put a logo on here or a little sign. We'll see how it goes. I might come up with something to put on there. Okay, for the bottom of the billboard, I decided I'm going to cushion it. I think it'll probably cut down a lot of the motor sound and give us more of the whistle sound. So what I did was I cut a little piece of birch ply, 1/4 inch again, about 6 1/4 inches by 3 10/16, which fits the bottom of my frame very nicely. Now, if you're using a different size frame at the bottom, older models and newer models probably might have something different. You can adjust that size. But what I'm going to do is fold over a piece of towel that I had lying around here. And I think that's going to be a nice cushion for the bottom. So I'm going to fold that over and take a stapler and just put a couple of nice staples in there. And I'll take a hammer and hammer those down so that they're nice and flat. Not that they're going to be a problem. And the staples were small enough so that they don't go all the way through. All right, now the other side, pull it nice and taut, and we'll do the same thing here. And once again, we'll hammer those down nicely. Okay, got one part done. I'll flip over these sections. All right, so we're going to have to cut that down a little bit. Take a knife here and slice that. There. I can cut that off and fold it over again and put a couple of good staples in there. Pound them in. All right, one more side to do. Getting better at this as I go along, as you can see. Flip that over. Gotta put a bit of pressure on that in order to make those staples go in. Almost like doing upholstery, except that it's not. All right, got a nice padded board here now. Let's take it over and see how it fits. Okay, it seems to fit on there pretty good. What I think I'd like to do is maybe glue it down to the bottom so that it's keep this nice and quiet. Let's try this out. We'll flip it over and just tentatively put it like that. I mean, it's not going to be the most attractive thing in the world, but I think it works pretty good. Now let's just hook this up temporarily to see how it sounds. Now, if I didn't have the padding, just put it on the wood. Makes a little more noise. Not too bad. Now this is definitely better. In fact, I might not even have to glue it down. That could be just the bottom on my, put it right at the bottom of my layout, and it should work just fine. Once you get the trains going, you won't even hear that motor, I'm sure. All right. Okay, my layout is a Western theme, of course, the Old West, tombstone, and sort of a mixture of tombstone, Deadwood, and Dodge City. And I took the old sign out from the American Flyer base here, and I painted it a sort of a cream color, and I think that'll work out pretty good. And what I'm going to do is use a glue stick to put down my Doc Holliday sign. I'm going to use that instead of the American Flyer one. It fits the theme of my layout a little bit better. Let me go. Now, the glue stick I think will work out pretty good because I don't want to really put that in there permanently, although it could be in there permanently. So let's put some of this on the back of the picture that I've got here for my billboard. Camera was holding straight, probably wasn't. All right, so my Doc Holliday sign looks pretty good there now. And I cleaned up the base, didn't bother to paint it, but cleaned it up well enough, so I think it'll work okay. And of course the sign just simply slides into two top notches. Gambler, gunfighter, and lethal dentist. Okay, now we also have a little American Flyer logo clip for the bottom. I think we'll put that back in anyways. Just slides right in there. I'm sure the one that you have, if you have one, probably has some identifier on it. Just put that down like that and force those little clasps down. And it is all set. Okay, now we got to do some more work on the lighting unit we're going to add to this. Okay, to wire up my billboard on my layout, I've decided I'm going to use this old power block from an old computer. It's a power supply, and it works pretty good. Basically, you take the two of the yellow wires and two of the black wires and put them together, and you can hook them onto your terminal clips here for the actual billboard. I'm going to install a switch, actually maybe two switches, one for the light that I'm going to be attaching to this, and one for the actual billboard. And right now I haven't got the switches set up, so I'm going to just plug this in and give you an idea what this is going to sound. Well, that's 12 volts of power, so it should be good enough after I extend my cable across the layout to make a nice train sound here. Okay, the billboard, whistle billboard, and the whistle billboard is all set, and I installed my new lighting unit on the top there, as you can see from here, and seems to be working okay. If I want to shut the lights off, you can have a nice view of it in the dark, and of course it looks good in the daytime too. And it's all controlled from the little control panel I've started building up here. Turns the horn on, and the light of the billboard is also turned on by a switch here. And as I mentioned, all of this is running off of an old power supply from a computer, 12 volts, and it's all wired up underneath here so that it works off of that. Okay, we have a couple of close-ups here of the finished Doc Holliday sign. Underneath here, if you lift it up, you can see the lighting units up under there. 12 volt bulbs in there. The receptacles were implanted in the cover, and the wiring dropped down alongside here. Eventually I'll probably put something up in there too. And of course the pad is on the bottom. Keep it cushioned. Well, that's it for this project. I hope you enjoyed watching this. If you did, click the like button down below and come on back and again and see what new projects I come up with later on down the line. Remember, if you would like a pattern of this lighting unit, it gives you some ideas on how the dimensions would actually work. You can just send me an email, and I'll be glad to send it to you free of charge. Thank you for watching.